want to average no, he's taking a mid 10-inch. Oh, that's the new scope, I guess, the 10-inch. Let's see. So there's a single picture, and let's see if I want to just do. I've got it on 1, so let's stack with 1. That'll give 1 plus 1, and there'll be 2 frames averaged, and it will remove some of the noise. Coming up on the second one. And we should see it brighten. Right now. There it goes. And a little bit green. Let me knock the green down. Look at him, I'm taking it out of the storage container. Never been unboxed. Yeah, I got the Epic Pen Pro and I'm loving it too. Let's add a, ooh, I overdid it in the green correction. Let's add a name on here, M27. Oh. There we are. And I got the background neutral and we're doing okay. Yeah, this is with the HyperStar. I had this zoomed in a little bit, but there's the full frame. Right in the Milky Way, so there's a really rich star background, and you can appreciate that here. There we are. What is my limiting magnitude? Well, we only have 2 here. I'm so slow and pokey, I'm not sure I'd be able to do that very quickly. The filters, yeah, there's a Lumicon, a Deep Sky, but I shouldn't really have that on tonight because there's not much haze. The sky is shivering with a fair amount of poor seeing. And then if I click on the galaxy again, I can, with the planetary, we can expand it up and see some lobes. See some lobes kind of blooming out here on either end of the planetary, which is pretty. And the dumbbell itself is very enriched in hydrogen, and that really stands out beautifully. Can you see all of the Little Dipper naked eye? You know, a good sighted person would be able to, but I have a tough time doing that. Tonight I probably couldn't see it. Yes. Well, let's see where else we might take a look. M71 is a little globular cluster. I think that's what it is. Let's move to the cursor and take a look at this object. And I can center it here. And we can take a look and see what we see here now. I have to undo the stacking. And aligning. Here it is. Now, let's go ahead and add several pictures here because we might be able to see if this is a globular or an open cluster. It's a small glob, says Jack. What exposure, how many stacks? Well, the exposures are 15 seconds. And I was going to stack here for, just for fun, 1 plus 3. See what it would bring out. Very loose. Well, it's certainly reddish. You can make that out. And so I've got it set up to do 1 plus 3. So it's a total of 4 images would be 60 seconds. It's grabbed 1. It's starting to, it's got the second one, but it's only displaying 1. I'll click align there. Now we're aligning 2. The research globs, and they are some of the oldest objects, 12 to 13 billion. You'd be hard pressed to find, stars, individual stars in the halo of the galaxy that were older than that. They hardly have any metals in them. So I guess the chances for planets around these stars is very dim. Okay, now that's an output of 2 pictures. Now I can start dimming it down now with a histogram. Getting kind of bright. Yes, formed before the heavy metals are created. All those supernova explosions produce heavy metals, but it takes time to accumulate enough to generate the next population of stars. Okay, so I put the histogram minimum at 10, and it's going to be darkening the pictures a little bit now, and I can click on our blue and I'm going to take it down. Oh. Take the blue down a little bit. Well, I guess you could believe that that was a globular cluster, huh? We've outputted already 9, so our image stack has been rolling for 9 frames now, a couple of 2.5 minutes worth. And we can see all those stars in the background Milky Way. In fact, if I lower the histogram down to 150, if I can get away with that. will brighten them right up. And you'll see all the stars in the background. This is a pretty dense region of the Milky Way, I remember. It's like looking at M11. This is M71. I see some blue hot pixels now in the image, but not too bad. Might grab me a picture of that. It's always kind of wild how the image rotates. Okay, so let's see what else we could find here. We did the dumbbell, we did M71. I guess the Omega Nebula is right not too far from my meridian. And it's over 30 degrees altitude. Let's give it a shot. I didn't think we'd be able to see that tonight. It's over my neighbor's house, so I'm not completely confident we can get there. There it is. So I will just right-click it, slow the cursor, and we'll see. Here comes the telescope. Yeah, I'm adding it dark. Oh, look. Unfortunately, the scope's got to go around. I have a cord wrap set so that it doesn't cross the southern meridian. Most people do the northern meridian, but crazy me, I do it the other way around. I guess that's because usually I can't look to the south much. That's a shame, but the neighbors' houses are all right there, and there's some bushes. Yeah, if we had a nicer night, and if my scope were properly focused, I'm sure we could really do a nice image and look and see about the compactness of that globular. Here it comes. A little bit more to go. There it comes. Very nice. Okay, let's see if that corresponds to some kind of an image. Pink Floyd. Wait a minute. I've got to undo the... look at that. Upside down. Well, let's turn it right side up. There's an image orientation here, flipping horizontal and vertical. This camera does a nice job of color. And I should change that label. This is M17, the Omega Nebula. What little I had to play with the DS16. I love that camera because of those small pixels, and you can zoom in forever and see details and things, which is a really nice feature of that camera. I could never really, I didn't have much time to play with it because we didn't have that single core operation going at that point. Let's see if I can add a little contrast on this. But the color didn't seem to be the same. And I don't know if it was just how I was doing it or what. John Hillard was watching Rock's broadcast. He just got his DS2.3 PLUS. He wanted to see how it works. Oh, too bad. Well, on objects like this, the camera just really excels. I mean, if we look carefully, if I lower that histogram even, it's on 150 on the white set. I'm going to use defaults in the histogram. That'll make it dark. And then let's do at least stack 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. Now let's see if the dark frame is really working. I'm going to undo the dark frame and take a look. So we've got about 7 seconds, and we'll be able to see if there's hot pixels that leap out at us. Yes, certainly there are. So if I click that dark frame's been working pretty good all evening. I've left everything at 15 seconds integration. And then, okay, so let's stack a couple of these things. I'm going to just do, well, let's do 3. This would be a 45-second equivalent total exposure. Seems short enough, doesn't it? Okay, so what's it doing? It is taking the first picture, and now there's the second one accumulated. And with the third one, it'll begin displaying multiple pictures. Just a couple seconds. Here we go. So that's 2. I already have to darken this down. It's too bright. So let's go to 25. It's even brighter now. I darkened the histogram for the dark set so that we could see all the ionization clouds, all the clouds of ionized gas that are out there. They show the whole frame. The whole frame is pink, and you can see lots of nebulosity all around. What a fabulous view. I'll go easier on the dark side there. It's too black now. Let's do more like 25. And if I took my filter out, we'd really be humming. Now let's see where it is here. Here it comes again. And the histogram looks like it's doing pretty good. I see 4707 and I see 4706. It has many designations. Yeah, I bet this is quite a big stance, the whole arc of the field of view here. It's 70 arc minutes of view. I wonder how many at the level of the Omega Nebula. I wonder how wide that picture is. 06 is surrounding the double bright stars. Oh yes. That's 4706. Oh, what happened? I've got a wandering cursor. Let's go up and take a look at the Trifid. That's a little bit higher in the sky, isn't it? And it's M16. There's the Eagle. And the Trifid is called M20. Oh, I don't think I can get it. It's way down there. That's too bad. I can't see a thing below 30 degrees. And that line of latitude is the 30-degree marker. Well, let's go to the Eagle Nebula. I'll center it first. And there we go. And then do a slew to cursor. Eagle's the scope, slewing up to the Eagle. It's there already. So let me grab a picture of this if it's not too late. There we go. Got it. Now that was a pretty view of M17. Here it is zoomed out. So let me unhook the stacking. There we go. And cancel out the label. Now for some reason, I've got to start the camera again. We won't click video. Well, aha, there it is. Okay, trigger mode. And there's the whole frame. And let's start looping. 15 seconds again. Well, there's the single exposure of the Eagle. I guess we could easily do 3 or 4 of these. Let's do 4. Okay. These emission nebulae are always so bright with hydrogen and so red we don't have to worry about green. The Eagle is higher. Yeah, M16 was up higher. and then we'll be able to magnify this and see the pillars better. So it's already aligned stacking. There's the second image. I like this build-up of the images. I was talking to the group before. It's sort of like watching in the eyepiece of a telescope, and you don't see what you're seeing initially, and then as you look at it, it begins to brighten and you see more detail. There's 3. And there are the pillars. So it's going to be 1 plus 4. That would be a total of 5. And the output is now 5. So we've gotten what we wanted. Now, not too bad. I see some dark specks around, but relatively few hot pixels. And the whole frame is red. And there are the pillars. Now tonight the sky is kind of noisy with turbulence, so we can't easily see these nice stars that are being born in the pillars. But in these locations there are stars in the nebula that you can see. They're fun to look at. Only a few million years old. So that compares to billions of years for our sun. Better lower the dark set. It's a little bit high. This is M16. There we go. Yeah, it's about as good as I'm going to be able to get, I think, tonight. What I really need to do, the eagle's flying upside down. The omega, the trifid, and the lagoon, those are all lower down. Can't quite get to them. Barnard's galaxy, some globular clusters. Well, think we can bring out Barnard's galaxy tonight? Let's give it a shot. I'm a sucker for gas. Oh my goodness. It's going to go all the way around Robin Hood's barn. Maybe we should stop that and make it it's still going. How do you escape? Yeah. Maybe we should look at something closer to home, like the wild duck cluster. How about that? In Aquila, planetary 6781. You think it's on my list? $67.81 is not 67. No, it's not on. But I can do a search. NGC 6781. And the thing about this, Jack, I will lose the telescope, but down in the corner is an action menu. And go to the view the interactive atlas. And there it is, 6781 right here. So, slow the cursor. Now we don't see the telescope, and I don't know what it's doing. But it should be there momentarily. And let's just clear out what we were doing here. I think 6781 has an appreciable diameter to it. Wave structure and color. Yeah, that's what I remember too. I see it already. So let me, we'll go to defaults on the histogram. Now, get some stacking going here. And, yeah. Okay, we got the first frame, and we're looking at it. 6781. Okay, so NGC. Yeah, that text tool is a really big help. I've never brought this in really beautifully. Okay, here it comes. We are displaying 4 out of 5. So we have one more to go. And then I'll zoom in on it. Okay. Rainbow of colors is right, from bluish green all the way on. We gotta brighten this up, so I must put that to 15. There. Looks like I didn't activate my aligning. I just clicked align, so it'll, I don't know if it can align on these streaks or not. It's going to build a series of little dots and a streak. No, it was unhappy. 6781 is a real gem. And it's a planetary. A lot of them are so small I can hardly see anything in them. Now, if we go look up further north up here, north, there's the Ring Nebula, and then right in here we have the Crescent. We got 6888.
Operation completed.
Let's go there. I like the straight line tool as well, easier to point. Shows the rainbow of colors. Yes, easier to point with a text tool. You just streak your cursor and you've got a beautiful straight line instead of a spastic squiggle. Yeah, that was a nice nebula. Let's see if we can go here now to, I'll put this to home and we'll go in here. I'm looking for, might have to go to our list, the Crescent. Yeah. No. Okay, so I'm refreshing the list. Oh, I picked minor planets. It's all messed up. Okay, auto-generated lists. And then Leesburg, A. There they are. And then rank them. And 688. 8 is not there. And I don't see Crescent listed. So I can do a search for it and go find it that way. So here, NGC 6888. Search. Double click. Action menu. View the atlas. And go. Through the cursor. Well, that'll be the Crescent Nebula, 6888. And looks like the telescope is still slewing. It always makes me a little nervous to be sitting in the kitchen while the telescope is slewing out in the backyard. And let's put this on default histogram. And let's put the, okay, live stack is off. It's still slewing. Must be it had to go around the barn. Ah, look at that. You see it? There's the crescent already. My God, it makes it look like it's actually bright. Oh, I moved it too much. Shouldn't have messed with it. Yeah, I need to bring it down. Let me just slew the cursor again. That's the easiest way to get a good pointing. There. Coming right up. The epic pen. No. So. Let's try that. That'll be good. And then we'll oh yeah, that's it. So let's do 4+1, maybe even 5+1. You can see how big and bloated the brighter stars are tonight. Oh, huh. I didn't realize I was zoomed in, so we have a much bigger view of the crescent. There's the full frame. Yeah, my atmosphere is right. The seeing is terrible. The sky is twinkling. There it comes. Now, let's give it a histogram setting here. So we give it about a 10. Maybe 200. And let's go to 15. 14. And I should be aligning. There we go. I wasn't aligning, but I am now. Turn the blue down a little bit. Yeah. I'll turn it down 3 pegs. There we go. That's again 15 seconds. 15 seconds with stacking and aligning, and we are doing 1 plus 5, so 6 altogether, and that would make it a 90-second total integrated image. that's pretty good. This is normally a very faint nebula, very hard to see in anybody's eyepiece live. Okay, well, let's see. I think maybe what I'll visit next is Caroline Herschel's Rose. Do you know that one? I don't remember the name. Shoot. I don't think Greg has it under Caroline's name. I'm looking in the Sky Planner. NGC 6888, that's the crescent. NGC 7, bring this up. There it is, 7789. Haha, we found it. Interactive Atlas, all right. Slow to cursor. And it's right by Cassiopeia, and we were right near the zenith. Hopefully on the same side of the meridian. But this is it here. And it is 30, so we're 45 degrees altitude right now, so that's good. Yeah, 30, 45, a little over 45 degrees altitude. An old open cluster in Cassiopeia, boy, it's so pretty. I don't know if we got there yet or not. Let's take a look. Here's the camera program, and I have to undo us from the old picture. There it is. How about that? Okay, so let's go ahead and integrate a few. I think 1 plus 2 should be fine. I'll put the histogram back on default. So here's the first frame. What's nice about this open cluster is that it's very sweet. It's got very uniform population of stars, and there are many, many of them. And you can begin to pick it up already on your screen. So it took 2 pictures. It's still displaying 1. Here it comes. Now I appreciate there's some old timers in this cluster, which are yellow. And you're picking them up too. KVY is doing a pretty good, it's doing a pretty good job of color rendition. Okay, let's drop this down to 200 maybe, and make the background 10 or 12, and see if we can make this a little bit brighter. We'll take it on down to 150. Now raise that histogram up to around 15 on the black set. Dark color differences are really marked. There are a couple of very bright blue ones. And right in here is a population of very blue guys. And then all of these are quite yellow, the bright ones. Mostly they're kind of nondescript. Now that background is kind of purple. I have to actually deliberately add a little green, or the best thing to do in a case like this, do a white balance. Especially on a star cluster, because just there, look at how nice that worked. Oh, that's to die for. Yeah, that's nice. Oops. Not so nice. Shall we go to the cocoon? That was near Cygnus too, wasn't it? Or I don't remember where that is. Cocoon. That's a named crescent dumbbell eagle. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Any favorites, anyone? Jack, you have one? I can't find that cocoon. I guess I could look it up on his binder, but all I know is the name. It's a little H2 region. Cocoon Nebula. There it is. Look at that. Action menu. There we go. Got it. And it is kind of between Cepheus and Cygnus. So let's move to cursor, and that will take just a split second, and then we can get a picture of that. Undo the stacking here. Okay. We do have a very clear night tonight, so that's a good thing. Now, we're going to default on the histogram. We'll get a 15-second picture in here. There it is. Boy, you wouldn't say there was anything in there. I'm going to do the white balance. For some reason, white balance doesn't always grab. Well, let's start stacking. We're supposed to be there, but I don't see it. So if it's going to take, let's do 5 plus 1, 90 seconds total. Well, excuse me. The lag is very short tonight. It's only like a second. And I've trained myself to open Nice Guys Network on another laptop because that's the true lag on that, not on the NSN screen on my own laptop. Oh, I see it. I see it in there. There's a faint hint of something reddish, and I'm going to have to drop the green or do a white balance. The green, but there it is. Let's see what we can do. Green. I'm going to drop it 7 points. 9. That's really green. Okay. And we'll go down to the histogram and begin working on that. And I'm definitely going to go down to 150 on the white end of the histogram. Let's see what happens with that. And we're aligning and we're stacking. Oops, didn't like that. Let me start it again. Okay, there we are. We are looping 15 seconds. I just enabled stacking. Going for the setback. Okay, it took its first frame. There we go. Color is better this time. Well, now if anything, we've got blue. Let me decrease the blue. But there it is. This little cocoon has all three nebular types. There's the red emission, which is easy to see, and then superimposed on it is a dark nebula of dust. And then in addition to that, there's reflection nebula, a whitish glow out here. I don't know if we're going to catch that tonight. Now, this is running away from me. Let me get the blue in control. Okay. And let me fix the, there we go. That'll darken it.